Hey everybody, this is Evergreen Stater again. How you guys doing out there? Well, I decided to finally do this video after a lot of thought because my my big inspiration for this video was the very fact that I watched a video about Zimbabwe, and it was depicting all this stuff about the hard times and the collapse of the economy, and just a lot of stuff is just going on that's really bad down there. And what I think about that, I'm looking down at these comments, and a lot of these comments are saying stuff like people are saying that black people are not fit to rule themselves, and that Zimbabwe was better off as Rhodesia as ruled under the British. Well, I'm here to tell, this is what I have to say about that. The problems that I see in Zimbabwe, with hunger going on, collapse of the economy, just all these hard times, to me, that is not a product of decolonialization. It's not about Zimbabwe getting its independence. I'm all for that. What I'm looking at, it is more what came after. Mugabe's been in power since the 80s, and you got the same leader doing the same things, and it's not working. What is needed in Zimbabwe is new leadership, new ideas, and some better ideas on how to run the country and how to make things better again. And people were saying that Zimbabwe was the breadbasket of Africa. Well, yeah, maybe so, but I got a question. Why does anybody colonize another country? Well, here's the reason why people colonize countries. People do it for their own benefit. They don't do it for the benefit of the people in that nation. Sometimes they might benefit, and sometimes, and in many cases, they don't. The way, it's like, if anything, it's about one man, one vote. The right to self-rule, the right to have a democracy according to one man, one vote, and not somebody else come in and take your country away and tell you, this is how you have to do stuff, this is how you gotta do that. And, if anything, I say part of the political issues that have been going on in many African nations, Zimbabwe included, is, my thing is, yes, independence is necessary to be able to rule your own nation. And sadly, I think part of it was the fact that nobody ever planned for independence. There was no plan to teach people how to rule a democratic nation. There was no kind of thing set up. Or if it was set up, it was skipped totally. The last prime minister of what was then Rhodesia, Ian Smith, from what I've heard, he had a plan to, slowly introduce democracy in, and to teach people how to run a democracy and to put a leader in, so that Zimbabwe's independence could be a smooth transition. But then the British Crown, but then something happened, and, rather than Ian Smith interject this plan, independence happen spur of the moment. I'm not saying spur of the moment is a bad idea. I am just saying when our country is being prepared for independence, you know, all this stuff needs to be worked out. And unfortunately, with with Zimbabwe, it didn't work out that way. You know, what is needed in Zimbabwe is a new leader, not colonialism. Some people would say blacks are not fit to rule themselves. That is a load of crap. That is something people would say out of their own racism and out of their own hatred in their own hearts. You know, people are going around saying that blacks can't rule themselves. To me, it's not a matter of whether or not blacks can rule themselves. It's a matter of getting the right leaders in. Getting the right leaders who will do the right thing. Getting people in who will not try and do crazy stuff. Getting people in who help the country to progress. And from what I'm seeing, Mugabe's not doing that. Yes, he was the leader that was to get Zimbabwe out of colonialism. But it's 2010 now. What next? You know, I see the situation in Zimbabwe. It's not good. You know, times have been hard. From what I've been heard, there have been mass issues with hunger and food running out. That was from a document I watched. And it's 2010. I don't know what the latest situation is on Zimbabwe right now. However, this is the way I look at it. I am not for someone coming in from outside of the borders and taking the government hostage and telling the people you are not fit to rule yourselves. That's colonialism. What I am for is a new leader coming in, trying to make things better. Because in my thoughts, in the way I see it, there is potential for Africa. There's a lot of potential. It's just a matter of getting the right leaders put in. And that's what I have to say about that. This is Evergreen Stater, and you all have a nice day. Peace.